if you are thinking about studying psychology but you're not sure yet, and you're also wondering, what can I do with the psychology degree? Then this is the video that you gotta watch. My name is Marco Sander. I'm a master's psychology student right now. Next year I'm officially a psychologist. I did my bachelor degree, my Bachelor of Psychology, in the Netherlands at the Maastricht University. Then I did a gap year, I did some internships, some coaching and consulting companies, and I also worked for my own company. And now I'm back for my master degree also in Maastricht. It's a health and social psychology master. It's more like a coaching behavioral change master, still rather broad compared to the other masters, I would say. And first of all, I would like to tell you, I studied at one university, not all universities. It depends, especially on psychology, I think, on the university. Maastricht is more focused on neuroscience, so my bachelor was also quite focused on this aspect. I talked with psychology students, they don't really have a lot of knowledge about neuroscience, for example. So it depends on the university. Also keep in mind, it depends on the individual. Everybody has different opinions. People will tell you different things. So I'm just giving here my opinion, but I'm trying to stay as objective as possible. And the very first advice that I would like to give you, if somebody's asking me, hey, Marco, I'm thinking about studying psychology. Well, my first question is then why? And if people tell me, I just love thinking about human beings and behavior and thoughts and emotions, and I really can imagine working in this area later, but I'm just not sure whether this is the right thing to do or whatever, then I tell you, if you're passionate about it, then do it. There are actually extent studies done on people's motivation. If they're following their passion, they're actually more likely to become millionaires if they follow the decent choice and the way where they think they make more money, which is counterintuitive, but then just really follow your passion. But now we're gonna dive into I actually make some notes here, into some misconceptions. The first one is, people think, oh, if I study psychology, I can only become a therapist, a psychotherapist, talking one-on-one with people who have tremendous psychological issues. Well, this is not perfectly true. It's true that this is one area that you can go, but nowadays psychology developed so much the last years, and it is about to develop even more. Things are changing. So one direction you could definitely go is work in organizational psychology. There's a lot of stuff going on in recruiting. You could also do what I'm doing. I'm very passionate about training and developing human beings. It's also an area. You could go into research. So you're working at the university, working at the cutting edge research, coming up with new models, with new insights. And yes, you can also become a psychotherapist, and you can become a coach. And actually, I know a friend, he studied psychology, he's now in journalism. And when he applied there, they said, oh wow, you didn't study at a university exactly this thing that you're doing right here, but you studied psychology, that's great. We can teach you how to write, you can learn how to write, you don't learn this at university, but psychology is a great background. It's just showing here that you have so many options that you can go to. I have a friend, he studied psychology, his bachelor, and now he's doing his master at the business faculty about organizational change, about organizational development. And I know a friend, he finished exactly this master and he applied for a job and they loved him and they said, wow, psychology is great. You did not just do your bachelor at business and then your master in business. No, you did your bachelor in psychology and then your master in business. That's amazing. We prefer that. I also have another friend. She's now doing her master at artificial intelligence. She's more into programming now, and she got in there easily with her psychology degree. So there are tons of options. I know people think, oh, now I'm out of high school, now I'm studying, and now what I decide, this is the thing that I'm going through for the rest of my life. No. Actually, our first lecture, a professor said, 95% of you guys are not going to end up in psychology, the classical psychology area, because you have so many options with psychology. So generally, if you love studying psychology, you informed yourself about the courses and you find this all interesting, then just go for it. There are a lot of options you can go into. Number one. Number two, people think psychology is a blah blah science. I wrote down here because it's just like talking about, and it's very vague, and there's no decisive, assertive advice that you can give. And that's true, but it's also not true. A common theme in psychology is always, it depends. It depends on those and those factors. And that's just because reality is a little bit more tricky. And yes, we can just say it's like that, but this is just simplifying reality. So yes, it's true that there's still so much potential in psychology, and there are often those answers that you can only give where you can say, okay, yes, it's genetics. Yes, it's also learned. We don't know the exact percentage. It depends. But psychology is a science. And as you probably heard already, there's also a lot of statistics involved. So you can do proper research based on math, and in the end can say, hey, if you do those sort of activities, you will get less stress. You will be less stressed, you can recover better, or you will be more creative. People surrounded by those environments are more creative than those people. People are more focused in those environments. You can give very specific advice. So it's not a blah blah science. Psychology is evolving a lot the last years. There's a lot of research done. And you can give specific, practical advice. So both is correct. There is practical advice. There's also a huge area where it's a bit more vague because it depends on so many factors. But you can break it down to a specific context and give some practical advice very often. That's the one thing. And if you're into that, like me, I really love putting theoretical knowledge into practice and break it down and realize, okay, what does this help me now? How can it help me? Then psychology is also the right thing for you. Second thing. So first one was not only psychotherapy is possible. Second one, it's not just a blah blah science. Third one, about the courses. Again, it depends on the university. What do you learn in those 3 years bachelor? A lot of people know that there's a lot of statistics. It's true. But also my professor in the first year said, statistics is not math. And he was so right about this. If you're just bad in math in high school, doesn't mean that you're bad in statistics at university. Well, I know a lot of people who study psychology and they're like, oh, I'm so bad at statistics, and then it kind of is a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's not that tricky, really. Don't put yourself down so much on that. And if this is the factor to not study psychology, that's definitely not the thing. Also, again, it's very broad. You think it's very specific, but no. I studied a lot about neuropsychology, as I said. I can tell you exactly about the brain, how it works biologically with the hormones and the neurotransmitters, and which area is responsible for what. We learned about social psychology, how groups are behaving. We had a course about, it's called Man and Machine, how humans are interacting with machines, especially what is nowadays happening with artificial intelligence. There are less jobs. People have to work together with artificial intelligence and with computers. How is this working? How is artificial intelligence working? We learned about how do you do proper psychological tests to really give proper advice or figure something out on a basis of research. So there are tons of different areas, and it is very interesting. And then in your master, you go more specific into those solutions. But again, depending on the university, so check your universities you want to go to and check the courses right here. By the way, if you have any questions, write it below. I read all the comments, and I will also answer them. Yeah, those are the 3 points I wanted to share with you. Generally, just talk to friends, because you know always somehow a friend of a friend who studied psychology. Try to talk with them. Try to Skype with them. Try to send them an email. Do internships somewhere. And just get those experiences in. It's the same, like if you check my YouTube channel, my company Straight Mind, we have this developmental model where we talk about do things, experience things, set goals and generate, be creative and work, get those experiences and then reflect on them. You can't just sit in your room and think about, is psychology the right thing? go out there and make experiences. Yeah. Otherwise, I hope this video helped you. I just wanted to give you some clarity. Again, if you have questions, just leave a comment below and give a thumb up. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you want to have more videos about psychology, let me know about the videos, the kind of videos you would like to watch, what you're interested in. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.